Have you ever heard a story that feels like it's been carried on the wind? Let me tell you one. Long ago, on a cliff so high it seemed to touch the sky, stood a narrow stone house. Locals called it the house above the wind. There were no roads, no doors, just a single balcony hanging over the abyss. Inside lived a young woman named Mira, placed there by her guardian, Aurelian. Aurelian was a woman of sharp intelligence and colder ambition. She believed safety was worth any price, even freedom. So she raised Mira high above the world, far from risk, far from choice. "You are safest where nothing can reach you," she would say. Mira grew up with the wind as her only companion. She learned its moods, its songs, and she sang back, not to be heard but to feel less alone. One evening, a traveler named Jonah rested near the cliffs, walking away from a grief he couldn't name. And then he heard it, a voice, not a cry for help, just a pure, steady song. Night after night, Jonah returned to listen, and Mira kept singing, never knowing someone had finally heard her. One day, a rope woven from fabric strips lowered from the balcony. Jonah understood and began to climb. When he reached her, Mira wasn't afraid of him, but of the feeling stirring inside her, the idea that life was so much wider than her stone walls. They spoke softly, about fear, freedom, and caring for someone without possessing them. But Aurelian noticed the change. Mira's songs were no longer lonely, they were hopeful. When she discovered the truth, her anger wasn't about betrayal, but about losing control. She tore the rope apart and took Mira far away to a flat, silent land where voices faded into dust. "You will learn," Aurelian told her, "that love is weakness." Jonah returned to the cliff to find only emptiness. Despair became his guide, and he wandered for years, lost. Then one morning, in a place where the earth stretched bare, he heard a familiar sound. A song. It was softer, wiser, but undeniably Mira's. She stood there, changed by hardship, but strengthened by survival. Seeing him, she wept tears, not of pain, but of release. And Jonah, who had been blind to hope, finally saw again. They never returned to the house above the wind. Instead, they built something new, on the ground, with doors that opened freely, in a home where voices were chosen, not silenced. Thanks for listening. This story moved you? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.